center of Jasper National Park. Unlike Banff to the south, which is mostly a tourist town, Jasper was, for many years, an active commercial center. The Canadian National maintained large railroad yards here, and the town was a primary switching point as the freights were assembled to head east and west. Jasper feels like a chalet village. The architecture is vaguely Bavarian. In summer, it's very busy with travelers from around the world. Some arrive by train, others come in on coaches and by car. This is mountain country. Surrounding Jasper are some of the most spectacular mountains of the world. This is toward the northern end of the massive Rocky Mountain Range that begins in New Mexico and ends north of British Columbia. The mountains are somewhat lower than those in the U.S. Most of the peaks are between 9,000 and 11,000 feet, but the shapes are very dramatic. The spring runoff creates churning rivers that drop dramatically, creating some of the world's most impressive waterfalls. Outside of the town of Jasper stands the Jasper Park Lodge. The Jasper Park Lodge had very humble beginnings. It started out as a tent camp in 1915, begun by Fred and Jack Brewster, who were the tourism pioneers of this region. In 1921, the Grand Trunk Railroad took over the tent camp and built 8 log cabins. The setting is beautiful on Lake Belver, with Mount Edith Cavell looming ahead. Over the years, it has expanded into a 437-room resort. One of its most interesting features is its highly mobile room service. If you call room service here and order breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it will be delivered by a bellman on a bicycle, regardless of the weather. The lodge is a true resort offering endless outdoor activities. You can rent a canoe or a kayak and paddle across the lake, and tennis courts offer magnificent vistas into the Rocky Mountain Range. The golf course is world-renowned. Built in 1924, it took 200 men and 50 teams of horses to create. It was designed by the world-famous golf architect Stanley Thompson. Horseback riding has been a popular activity here since the Brewsters pitched their first tents and started inviting travelers from the east. Each day, the trail masters saddle up the horses and lead people staying at the lodge on the trails around the lake, past rivers, and through valleys of the mountain range. Magnificent scenery forms a backdrop along the trails, and the experience is typical of the outdoor adventures this region provides. Through the region pass several churning rivers that flow out of the mountains and lakes. Whitewater rafting is one of the activities the Jasper Park Lodge provides. Participants carry the rafts to the river's edge and receive a few instructions before starting out. And depending on your mood and sense of daring, you can experience anything from a gentle float trip to a hair-raising rapids adventure. Today, we're going to run the Athabascan River. This journey starts below the Athabascan Falls, and we'll run the river for about 10 miles. The whole thing takes about 45 minutes, and it's a pretty good way to, quite literally, get your feet wet. But if you'd like a bigger thrill, the lodge will take you the other direction, to the Moline River. This is one of the Rockies' most beautiful spots. The river joins Moline and Medicine Lakes, and when they hand you a helmet, you'll know this ride is going to be a little less calm. This is a true whitewater trip. The river is running at nearly full force, and the raft runners will guarantee you a dramatic ride. The rafts set out from Moline Lake and enter the outflow as they start this wild river journey. Rafting in the Rockies is one of the highlights of staying at the Jasper Park Lodge. For other